how can we start crafting that for, if we're at home listening, obviously we're going to talk in depth about the book. We're going to recommend it, link to it. So we don't want you to give away all your secrets. But if I'm listening, I want to make some progress on my headline. Any tips or tricks for that?
I, first of all, want everyone to know that for people who are like, I'm not doing social media, that's not for me, that's cool, right? There are plenty of tactics, including how you earn social capital, have executive presence, build authentic relationships. All those things are in the book. But a non-starter, you must have an all-star LinkedIn page in this world today.
Okay. Here we go.
When we talk about LinkedIn, and there's a couple other sort of, a la carte things, if you will. Like, I believe that everyone should have a personal website, because your site or your portfolio, your online portfolio, is the only place on the internet where you have 100% share a voice that is not at the whim of an algorithm. And we all know that game, right?
Yeah.
So for people that are like, oh my God, I can't make a website, or feel like this is all too much, it's like Canva is one of my favorite tools to like actually dive into this. So having an all-star LinkedIn page, really understanding what your bio says. Like, people write a bio, they throw it up there, they never look at it again. So setting a quarterly reminder to be like, let me read that. Does it even make sense anymore? And all of these things, your site, your bio, everything you're putting out into the world, to me, should be supporting whatever that North Star goal is. And a lot of people don't take advantage of the real estate available to them to be putting equity into their name. So a great, easy, low-hanging fruit, your email signature. I'm going to guess most people don't work for Apple who are listening. And how many people have as their email signature sent from my iPhone? You are doing marketing for Apple. You're not doing marketing for yourself.
Yeah. And you also, it's negative marketing. Let's be honest. When it says that, you just go, man, this is, this person is not tech savvy. They don't know what's going on. It's just how it goes.
So replace excuse my typos with read the latest article that I wrote for Forbes, or listen to my podcast. Why not actually deliver who you are on a silver platter? So in On Brand, I have all of these exercises called mental gymnastics, because I break down sort of the journey of how you think about brand. And of course, I think my perspective is I've spent over 2 decades working in fashion, in marketing, communications, and digital. So my perspective is creating image from the fashion industry and then applying it to people. But it starts with doing your Venn diagram, thinking about what do you talk about now? How are you showing up? Polling your network to understand it. There's so many ways to tackle this. And it's thought-provoking, but it's also, you have to put in the thought process.
Yeah. Such good information. And one thing I want to highlight is, I would venture to guess the majority of people, always just talking to the majority on this, are thinking, okay, that makes sense, actually. And number 2, I'm surprised I don't do that, right? I remember when actually the guy I do the podcast with was like, hey, put our podcast link in your email signature. And I was like, duh, right? This was a long time ago. He also was the one that said, go buy your domain name. So I built a website. There was, I don't know, I didn't keep up with it for a while. I kept paying for the domain name, even though it currently doesn't work, just because of what you're saying, which is I need to own that real estate, right? It's like it's such a critical component. Now you are motivating me to go pull it back up and make sure it aligns, but I completely agree with that advice.
Well, I'll take it a step further. You're about to have another child. I bought my babies their domain names when they were born.
Yeah, it's brilliant. What about emails? Do you
yes,
get their email?
They have their, they have their custom emails. I mean, they don't use it yet, but they have it.
Sure, of course. Yeah. So